Turn my headphones up. Louder.
All right, we got episode 40. Speaking about The Rock, I got my jabroni here, JQ, DJ JQQ, my JQ.
Yeah.
This is a long time loyal friend,
Yes.
client, and what I
Yes.
love about these episodes is, honestly, JQ, we haven't really got to like talk and chop it up.
Yeah, in the minute we always working and working out
Always working.
together and trying to make it happen, man.
And, you know, since we get to open the gym, and so much has happened before that, and so much has happened since then. But, you know, he was somebody that was a prominent person in my life with me moving to Houston, a
Yep.
kid from Wyoming, moving to Houston, and then eventually meeting you and how that story transpired. But before we get into all that, we were talking about The Rock. And another thing I don't get ever do is hang out and have drinks. He's
Yes.
probably talking about, Dose wants a shot?
Yeah.
Times have
Don't
changed.
drinking shots. Hold on.
Times have changed.
Oh,
So,
man.
Pimping.
Okay.
You know, we're talking wrestling, and you said we're talking about SummerSlam,
Yes.
and we're thinking The Rock may be coming back because Cody Rhodes is going to sell his soul and turn heel.
I think so, man. I got this feeling after, last night's first night of SummerSlam and seeing what Seth Rollins did, the CM Punk coming back, faking an injury, and the Triple H saying tonight's going to be even crazier and bigger. I just got this feeling, man. I'm like, what possibly could be so big tonight without switching? It got to be The Rock coming back, Cody Rhodes turning heel, or Brock Lesnar comes back.
So with that being said, have you taken the Terramana by The Rock yet?
I have not had that yet. I always see, yes.
All right, so we always try to get sponsors around here. So we're shout out to Terramana.
Yeah.
And you were supposed to bring the cognac. What was it called?
Oh, the Branson. The Branson. I ran out the door, but we on The Rock today.
Forgot
We
about
also on
the
The Rock
Branson.
today.
Anyways, we got the shot to take off with the Daily Dose, DJ JQ. And I have another surprise for you, JQ. Actually, this is such a surprise. This is why this guest is so important that no one other than the family knows about this drop of the Congo subs, and he's about to get a secret taste of it. So here's this first.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Sipping the finest.
Shout out to The Rock, all the jabronis out there.
Yeah, all the jabronis.
DJ JQ,
Yes.
my brother.
Yes.
Episode 40, Daily Dose.
Oh, yeah, that's smooth.
That's smooth. Right now, the secret surprise, the drop of the summer. We can talk about this because it's already released.
Ooh.
By the time this episode comes out.
Okay.
So, JQ, you've been keeping up with the Congo subs
Yes,
social media.
yes.
Bacha doing with his
Yes.
gorilla stuff and this big drop, and I'm the desert kingpin.
No.
Of the Arizona. I'm this guy and that guy, right?
Man, that's right.
So that movie trailer, the biggest drop of the summer. First drop was the creatine.
Yep.
Did you get any of yours yet?
No, I have not got mine yet.
We're gonna have to get that
Yeah,
creatine.
we got to get that. I got to get that. I need that in my life. I'm back on my drip. You know what I'm saying?
And the second drop of the summer is Pink Lemonade Warrior.
Ooh.
So no one has seen this yet, other than the family, JQ.
Ooh.
And here you are,
Oh, man.
getting the new look, our new flavor of the Warrior.
I need this.
You know, this is great for JQ because, you know, he's out there hustling and bustling.
Man, I'm in suns. I'm in hot sun,
Yep.
100-degree weather, DJing, doing big thing. I like this, man.
Yeah,
I like
and this
that.
has everything to fuel your muscles
And keep you hydrated.
And keep you hydrated.
And we need that in Houston,
need
Texas.
So this is real taste time. I want honestly, if it sucks, dude, I want your
Okay,
honest
a
opinion.
pimp gonna tell you.
You ain't
a
gonna
pimp keep it real
okay.
all day.
This
Keep
is
it real and trill.
real time right here. First ever taste. Pink
Smells
lemonade.
good.
Pink lemonade.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's good. That's good. You can mix this with some liquor too.
Yeah.
But don't do that all the time. You should be working out when you take this. Oh yeah.
yeah.
That's a good blend. That's gonna be a big seller right
Yeah.
there.
That's amazing, right? Holy
I can drink that on the
shit.
glass of ice. I might
Aaron,
overdrink
Aaron,
that.
Aaron, grab yourself a cup real quick. I want real time taste from you, but you got to go back on your mic after that.
Yeah, and he said, "Got to taste this, see what this gonna go like." So, and this is gonna be out and available by the time this drops. This gonna be big, man. I feel hydrated already.
Yeah, bro.
I feel good, like James Brown. Feel good.
I feel good.
Feel good.
All right, Aaron, what we got? Taste it. Taste test.
Oh yeah, he ain't wrong. You can put
So that is the biggest drop of the summer. It is
Yes.
live as it announced. DJ JQ was able to taste that real time. Aaron was able to taste that real time. And, since we're talking about supplements, he's cracking open that Benjamin Blue. Hey, that's a sponsor right there. See how that tastes.
Oh yeah, I've had this. This is good.
Okay.
This is good.
All right.
Shout out to Benjamin Blue.
Shout out to Benjamin Blue. It's talking about supplements, JQ. And I want to get back to actually how our relationship came about.
Yeah.
And, we first met back in 2014.
Yeah.
And it
Around
was
in
probably,
there.
it was probably through Kiati maybe, but I'll let you talk about it more. And then, were you working out before seeing us, or when you saw us is when you started kicking it into gear and going from there?
Well, yeah, when I met you out, and if I can go back, I think it definitely was Kiati and JJ that was over there with y'all and everything. At the time, I was kind of bouncing around the different trainers that I knew, because I knew I was always before trying to work out by myself, but I didn't really know. You don't really know what you're doing and everything. And so then I saw videos of what they were doing at your gym when you opened up, and I'm like, man, that's different. What they're doing over there is different. I said, man, can I come over there? And then I came over there with y'all and saw a whole new evolution to working out, to where it's like it's like I tell people, you work out with Dose and the Kango family, it's different. It's just full body, and you walk away feeling energized. And it's like it's just amazing. Like, I ain't gonna even lie. So, this past year, I had been going through a lot of different stuff. So I kind of, trying to get in where I fit in. I hit those back, and I'm like, and I was having the issue of being tired all the time. I think from stress, I went through depression. And at the time I hit those, man, I say, hey, man, I'm finna get back over there. You're like, all right, man, come on through. And I just came back, I think last Friday I came through. And after that workout, I went to work at the radio station, and normally I get tired in the middle. I was pure energized all the way up until the evening DJing my clubs. It was like a jolt of energy, and I was like, that's what I've been missing. To get that back in there. So it's like, it goes down, man. And you know what I'm saying? The Dose and the whole family has been a big integral part of my body transformation. And, I've lost a lot of weight. I've toned up and probably got in the best shape of my life. So, that's a big testament from a guy that never was, apparently everything I was doing before then was wrong.
That lied to him.
I was not doing nothing right.
Wait a second. Do 10 sets for 5 reps and rest 1 minute and come back and do it again?
And then come back and then I was on there, rest for 5 minutes. Hey, that wasn't the way to do it. I wasn't getting nothing done.
And then he messed these guys. What the hell? Wait, you're going to grab a 60-pound dumbbell and do 10 curls and do 10 curls again and 10 curls again and 10 curls again and go back up that shit and do it again?
You feeling when your arm can't move no more, you be thinking something wrong. You're like, no, I just got to get that pipping and that dripping right up in that thing. You know what I'm saying? That's right. Even then, you think you could, in the best shape of your life, and then y'all will throw a workout that'll be like, damn, okay, I still got some more work to do.
He mentioned something, and this is what I talk about. Like, it's not about Regal Pool. Summer's just better with a darn pool in your backyard. Regal Pools builds award-winning custom pools for families across Houston, made for memories, built to last, like America. Ready to get started? Call Josh at Regal Pools and tell him Dose sent you, or see their links in the show notes for more information. Congo, it's not about so I'm talking about brand building. So even in what you do as a DJ, right?
Yeah.
I think in anything that you're passionate about, you got to have your own niche to it.
Yeah.
And, with us, one of my mentors said, we're selling energy and we're not selling just the training. They're going off of your energy.
Yeah.
And what you described is what I take pride in. I take pride in the physical aspect. Right?
Yeah.
But that right there is greatness to me. That means you came into a place full of positivity.
Yes.
And that positivity got you ramped up for your day as if it was your NBA finals. And you took that energy, you took it all the way at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Guess what? You are seeking to do that again.
Yeah. And then also, since you said that, and it's also besides the, the development and what y'all put into the workouts, like you say, the positivity when you walk into the gym. you know, from then to now, the people, the energy, the pocket. I'm all about going in spaces where it's positive energy. You know what I'm saying? Just like when I just came back in for the first time, you know, when I walked through the door, when I came out the dressing room, and everybody was like, yo, Jackie, he's back. And man, I felt that. It made me want to work. It was people that I didn't even know that just saw my energy and saw everybody else. And man, how you doing, man? I'm like, hey man, what's up? Hey, let's go and do the thing. Yeah. And that is like, man, yeah. That's always a good thing too, to also come in there where everybody's friendly, everybody speaks to you, and you feel that. And that also is a very good part, because what people go through when they go back to their house, they come out to get positive energy, both mentally and physically. And, you know, to see that positive energy that you receive when you come in there, man, that's definitely, that's something you can't put a price tag on.
Yeah, that means a lot, because it's like, that's what I take pride in the training. Because people always probably ask, why is Congo different? Or why is Congo a certain price? Or what is it about Congo? And it's like, I take such pride in it. It's not, the workout's great. We don't get me wrong. We have some of the best workouts, and we get it in. We are strong. We're fun, like we can go to war with these workouts.
Yeah.
But what I take pride in is those comments. Like, I truly feel like every time people come into Congo now, it's like they elevate in their career. I've had clients say, because of they've had a big litigation or something coming on in their lives, but that focus of being able to come to Congo every day helped them persevere and go through, and just the energy. And that's what it's all about. Right there.
Right there. Facts on that end.
And that's why I'm like, trainers, I talked about it last time. I said, we are a business. We're running a business. A lot of people are only running a gym, or they're just a trainer. And you would probably even know that too, because you've had so many probably, you know, situations where you try to train with somebody, but that didn't fit there, and then, you know, when you found us initially, it's just obviously transformed.
Yep. Facts on that part, man.
So Jay, we met him back in when I first moved here, and he came here and started transforming his life. And you know, you're still with 97.9 The Box, right?
Still doing it, baby.
And you know, it would be great too one day if we can. Kiati was on. I don't know if you noticed that. So apparently Kiati does no podcast. He hasn't done any podcast before. And they did this one, and everybody was like, Kiati, can you do my podcast? Kiati, can you do my podcast? But dude, it would be crazy if we got you and him on here one time.
Oh yeah, definitely. We got to do that. We got to. That's the family, baby, all day. That's my brother for life, man. So you know what I'm saying. You know, we you would think we blood.
So he's with he's one of the voices for 97.9 The Box, and I bring that up because Kiati was with 97.9 The Box as well, and so much has happened in all of our lives that I want to get to talking about. So how long have you been with The Box? How did you and Kiati kind of meet, and how, because you know you're a prominent voice in the city. They call you, and why did they call you the pimp? I don't think I've ever asked you that.
Hey, so
he's AKA the Pimparelli, the big pimpin'.
So the whole pimp thing came about. So when I first started working at the station, I would always walk around, and when I would greet people, I would say, "What's up, pimpin'? What's up, pimpin'?" And boo, boo, boo. And then it started reversing, that when people see me, they would be like, "Pimpin', what's up? Pimpin', what's up? Pimpin', what's up?" And you know, I have a certain type of slang talk that I talk. You know, it's you know, it's like I just be like, "Yo, you know, we just out here pimping and dripping on fofos, knocking down doors, making sure the people change clothes." Just talk kind of crazy stuff. Till one day I was on the radio, and I was just freestyling, not rapping, but just talking my pimp talk. And you know, and I think the inspiration came from E40. You know how E40 would call itself Fonzarelli? Yeah. And so one day I was just talking. I said, "Yeah, you know, I'm doing this Pipparelli." And then people started calling like, "Yo." And then that took off, the whole Pipparelli thing. So they like, so people just started calling me Pipparelli. So it's at this part in my life, like I would just spread that energy of positive. And you know, with some people, they don't understand. What kind of pimp? I said, no, not the pimp you see on the corner. Now I said, this is like a pimp of life. You know, pimping brings energy, pimping to get that money, you know, in a positive, you know, in a way to where now when people see me, it's either pimp, what's up? Pimpin', what's up? Pipparelli, you know, it's going to be one of the three. I never get the JQ or Q. It's always, that's how I'm being greeted. Pimp, Pipparelli, pimping, everywhere I go.
Well, Pamela, we're gonna take another shot if that's okay with you.
Let's do it, baby. Let's do it. Let's do it. You know what I'm saying? The straight pippin', dripping, and never tripping. You know what I'm saying? There it is right there.
That Terramana shot of the Rock. You best believe we're gonna chase that down with the Warrior after.
Yeah. Bam.
the
Here we
pen,
go.
baby.
That there, salute to life. Success. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I guess the best part.
Yes, indeed.
Gotta hydrate. Which one was that? Is this the shot one?
No, that's the one. Yeah. I like this. Hydrate between drinks. That's how you do it. It's gonna be a good day today.
Gotta get that real time reaction again.
Oh yeah. Sound like Macho Man when I said that. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, brother. We're talking about the nice little sweet touch there of the pink lemonade.
Quick question. Can you overdrink that? Because I want to get a 44-ounce cup with some ice. Can you actually drink too much of that in one serving?
No, you're honestly you're totally fine. And
Okay.
if you do, you're just gonna piss it out.
Bam. That's them. I like to ask some questions because I probably would man, let me give me a good cup of ice. I'll be walking around and then refill it when it's, oh yeah, let me refill again.
Yeah, I'm telling you, you gotta take that to the clubs with you, man. That's gonna save your
Hey,
life.
let's go band. I already feel good. I'm gonna go to the club today, later on this evening. I'm gonna be up in there, probably come out like CM Punk. It's like,
Oh yeah, CM Punk got the getaway. Yeah, we're gonna give one more little shout out.
Rest in peace, Hulk Hogan, man.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes.
Before we get to the 97 box you're about to go
Bam,
with,
bam, bam.
because you are in radio,
Yeah.
and you can or can not want to talk about this if you want. We're wrestling fanatics,
Yeah,
and you
yeah.
are too, and Hulk
Yeah.
Hogan was the guy. There's
Yeah.
no Hulk Hogan,
Yeah.
but in the world that I'm living in now, we are living in, he took a lot of. I hate when someone passes away and immediately everybody goes to the bad, like
The negative.
The negative
The
stuff.
negative.
So what I'm getting at is all these people were coming out saying he was a racist and he was
Yeah.
a shitty person.
Yeah.
And I forgot the one guy's name. He was a bodybuilder. I think it's Joey Swole or something, Aaron.
Uh-huh.
He posted an iconic tribute to the Hulk, and then he took it down because he's like, I didn't realize how bad of a person Hulk Hogan was.
Yeah.
So what I want to ask JQ as a person in radio, is he a racist? Like, what in those situations? Why don't we just honor people? Why is it things get twisted? Why do people ask different questions to get the wrong questions? Or what's your view on shit like that?
So it's interesting that you asked me that, and I've said this on the radio. I've said this personally via social media and DMs when people ask me. Growing up as a kid, the Hulk was one of my favorite wrestlers. I would say one of the top favorite wrestlers growing up as a kid. To see, it was Hulk Hogan, man, Hulkamaniacs, all that stuff. I will honestly say in the last 5 years, he did some stuff that was questionable. He said some racist comments. I mean, it's some people that we don't even know that may not publicly have said it, that probably have said. He said some racist comments. I know some people were mad because of his political views.
Yeah.
And I don't care about people's political views. Political views, I'm not going to judge you for your political views. Racist comment, it did make me look at him in a certain different way. I'm like, well, damn, Hulk Hogan. Didn't put too much. I'm not that guy to be like, man, F him, F woo, wow, boom. When he passed away, my radio station made a remembrance post. Hey, put out when I saw it. I was in Atlanta at the time when he passed, so I put it up on my story, and I had 3 or 4 people say, man, they were like F Hulk Hogan, just racist, this, that, and that. I said, hey, man, and I just go, and this is what I tell everybody. He was an inspiration to me as a kid. Yes, in the last 5 years, he's done some things that made me look at him differently. But we cannot forget what this man did for wrestling, for the whole business. A lot of people wouldn't be where they are if it wasn't for Hulk Hogan. At the same time, I don't care. Let me rephrase that. No, I'm not. I don't care what you've done in life. Now, unless you've murdered some people and done, then I can't really say that. People gonna make comments, but I don't wish death on anybody. This man passed away, and he has family members that love him. This man just died. This was the father. I know He has some situations with his one daughter and everything where it is what it is. But at the end of the day, I don't wish death on no person. I don't care what you do. That's just not me. And when I said that to people, they were like, I get it.
One of our sponsors is Stevie Warren, your Houston real estate pro and fellow Congo warrior. Listen, you don't come to Congo for easy workouts, and you shouldn't settle for a pushover agent either. When it's time to buy or sell, you want someone who can handle the heat and fight your battles. Call Thebe. If she can survive Congo, she can handle any real estate hurdle. Save your sweat for the gym, not your real estate deal. Call Thebe Warren.
I get it. And, you know, with the internet now, it's a lot of negativity that goes on that I don't agree with. You know, everybody's quick to just bash. But think about if that was your father, that was your mother, you know, that person's not there no more. You know what I'm saying? And even if you look at WWE, when they did the tribute, even Cody Rhodes even said, I like how Cody Rhodes did his speech in the ring. He said, I know he's done some things that are questionable. But let's not forget what this man did for this industry. And we can't forget that. It's like, yeah, it's like, and with this world we live in now, you can do 500,000 great things. You do 2 to 3 things wrong, they forget about all that other stuff. They're going to focus on those 3 things. That's where we are in the world. And that's what I don't like. That's why I'm like, damn. I've even went through that where I messed up one time, and no matter how good I did, this one time, and people try to judge my character, I'm like, damn, that's what we doing? Like, I don't think that's cool. And I'm not that kind of person. Like, I look at both sides. I'm going to look at the facts, and I'm not the person that go on social media and be commenting negativity. I'm not. If you're negative, you can't be around me. You know what I'm saying?
How do you maneuver around that? Because your world is radio.
Yeah.
And as shitty as it sounds, there's so much negativity that you guys got to talk about.
Yeah.
So how do you kind of distance yourself from the negativity or the comment? Because you have to ask tough questions, or you have to talk about discussions that you may or may not want to, and then they could be like, well, look at this guy spreading about, you know, this comment and this comment. So how do you maneuver with stuff like that?
You know, pretty much on my show, A G and a Pimp, our show is about being funny, being entertaining. I really try to stay away from deep negative stuff. But if it's valid and it's something big that I need to address, I will put a funny spin on it.
Okay.
I'm not gonna be sitting there like do. I'm gonna make it comedic to where it's like, okay, I can laugh about this. You know what I'm saying?
So an example of that would probably be if you were at an all-white party, you would want to bring some baby oil.
Yeah, that right there. That was one. I made a lot of jokes about that one, you know. At the end of the day, with that situation, man, it was like literally I had a month worth of content every day. It was something new with that case that gave me content for my show, and I turned it into some funny stuff. I reported what went down, made some funny jokes, and that's what makes me a little bit different from everybody else, you know, especially being in the radio game. I don't come in as a reporter. I come in like we just talking right now, man. Look here, this what happened in the court today, man. And I'm gonna improvise some things, boy. The judge said this, and then he was looking over here giving the heart symbol, and the judge is like, and they be like, damn, and it gives you a different perspective. It'd be like, okay, that was okay. We're laughing, even though it's a serious matter. I just try to bring a little laughter to some stuff, because laughter is healing.
I agree. So what ultimately got you? Are you originally from Houston?
No, I'm originally from Bryan, College Station, Texas, where Texas A&M University is. 100 miles up the road. When everybody asks me, I say, I'm from Bryan, College Station. Like, what the hell is that? I'm like, you know what Texas A&M University? Right there. Oh, yeah, Johnny Manziel and what's my other guy that linebacker? He played there too.
Linebacker. Come on, who is it? Who are you thinking of?
Linebacker.
Von Miller? Is that Von Miller?
Von Miller. Von Miller paid for
Miller.
A&M and everything. So, so I was there. That's why I got my DJ career started.
So you always wanted to be a DJ.
I didn't.
Okay, how'd that even come about?
Man, my parents.
Okay.
Because crazy thing, when I was coming up, and people find this out when they see me in clubs and stuff where we have talk. When my first introduction to entertainment, I used to be a hip hop dancer.
Whoa.
Yeah.
You're telling me those knees and back and dance the floor?
Man, I used to do flips and everything.
Hey. Well, we're going to need, before you go there, Aaron, we're going to need a video. Put that video right there. We gotta see the pimp dance.
Oh man, hey man, that was back then. You know, I ain't got to still kind of move. Now I do a little drip. You know, I can keep up. You know, I've been there with Chris Brown and show Chris, hey, you got some moves on you for a tall dude, 6'4". He's like, you 6'4" ass dude got them little moves. I said, you tall too, Pippin. But yeah, that's that. I was in dance groups and stuff. Used to win competitions, so that led me to know that I wanted to be in entertainment. After a while, when that left, my parents used to own a little what they call a juke joint.
So it would probably be like, what is it?
Oh, you took it back to that smooth stuff. Yeah, we be in that thing, coming in that thing and hit the little, get the ladies going, had the ladies going crazy.
That's that good pimp sauce right there,
that's
isn't
that
it,
pimp
baby?
sauce. I give a 2-step and get to slide through that thing.
Hey, all right,
The vibe right there.
You go back to it.
So my mom and them owned the little juke joint and everything, and they would buy all the music for whoever they had DJing. All the music there. One day DJ didn't show up, and they was like, "Hey, we need you to play this music." And they had like a playlist. He said, "These are the songs." I came in the first day I did. I said, "This is kind of cool right here." So, you know, kept doing it to the fact they kept letting me do it more and more. So that made me start to research it. So being in high school, I used to go to parties at Texas A&M, and I wasn't really supposed to be there because I was in high school. And I remember I saw this DJ, and he was DJing. He was on these turntables, and he had the turntables, both his turntables on one side. Normally DJs have one here, in the mixer. Both his turntables was on one side, and the mixer was on the opposite side. And he's going rocking, boom. So that made me say, "Oh, I need to get some turntables. And I need to start buying more records." So I went and saved up money, bought me some turntables, bought me some records. I had another dude that was locally, that was a DJ. He was a Kappa named J. Frank Hernandez. He was DJing a lot of the parties out there. And so he actually gave me a little tutelage and everything to where I started DJing the college parties. And that's what broke me into the industry. Then they opened up a radio station there, started working from there. The guys that were programming it actually worked for 97.9.
Okay.
And so they kind of taught me about small market and big market radio. And then later on in life, I found out that the guy that I saw at Texas A&M DJing that kind of inspired me what to get was DJ Premier. Big producer. He was also a member of the legendary group Gang Starr and everything. He was going to school at PV at the time. And he was coming to A&M to DJ. So I'm like, wow. When I found, I said, oh my God, that was DJ Premier. So, you know, doing that, started doing college parties, doing the radio thing there. And then after that, after about 7-8 years, I felt that I had accomplished everything I could on the radio there and DJing in that market. And then I jumped up and just moved to Houston, man. I stopped everything I was doing, jumped in my car. I had to sleep in my car for 2 weeks, because I didn't have a place to stay.
Damn.
Yeah, so and at the time, that's when 24-hour fitness had just started opening up. They were just trying to break into the market. And it was like $10 for the membership, and they were open 24 hours. So what I would do when I would finish my day, I would go do a little workout, but that's why I would go shower and stuff and clean up.
Got it.
Go back in the car, sleep. I found an odd job at a newspaper, but the goal was to move to Houston to try to get on in 97.9. That was the goal. I'm like, man, I need to get on at the box, and I'm going to do anything that I need to do. And so I started interning under Walter D, and was doing that for free for 2 years, and then eventually...
Repeat that one more time. How long were you doing that for free?
For free for 2 years. 2 years. Man. And one time they told me I couldn't come back over there because the internship program had stopped, and they found a way to keep me coming back because I got mad. I'm like, man, I can't come back up in there. I used to sneak through the back door, filing records, just helping out. And so then one day, 2 years later, an opening came through, and they say, "You want it?" I said, "Hell yeah!" And then when I got in, my whole motto in life to this point: what somebody did in 5 years, I got to do in 1 year.
It's a super, super pleasure of ours to be partnered with Legends because we live it, we breathe it. Congo20 is the discount code. You get 20% off. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share the Daily Dose podcast. Follow Legends, and shout out to DeAndre Hopkins and Todd. Damn.
That was my motto. So I worked my way from being a part-time air personality to being to also doing mix shows to being with being a programming assistant to being a music director. Then I had the biggest opportunity in my life to be a co-host on the Mad Hatter Morning Show. Mad Hatter heard me on the weekend say, this guy's funny, and they had one of their members that left. And so before this person, her girl's name was Nate, before she left, when she would go on vacation, they would let me fill in for her. So when she left and it was an opening, it kind of made it easy because I had been filling in on the show. And, it was it was a surreal moment for me because also when I was living in Bryan College Station, we could pick up 97.9 and Magic 102 before they actually became under the same umbrella. So all of these guys were superheroes to me. So so the work up under Mad Hatter is like J Mac is like, I'm like, man, because I remember when Hatter used to do music, I brought him down to College Station for show. I'm like, man, one day I hope to work with you. They gave me, yeah, brother, just keep on hustling and working, do your thing. That's what we know to tell people. And then they was like, damn, this fool in here with us now. He said he was gonna be up in here and he with us now. And then, I did that with Hatter for like 6-7 years, and then I had the opportunity. G-Man, who was the afternoon guy, another legend in the market that I used to listen to, he had a co-host that left the show and left the station, and they were like, hey, we need to add something to this. And so I got the opportunity to be on the show with him, to co-host the show with him. And my boss at the time, Terry Thomas, she created the moniker of G and the Pimp. And that's what the show I've been in ever since. So now my own afternoon radio show, me and G-Man. I'm the assistant program director at the station now. So, it's been good, man. But it's been, it feels like I've only been there for 10 years. And then they put up on the board, it's been 20 years.
Wow.
It's amazing. And they put up the anniversary. I'm like, damn, I've been here 20. So as a kid coming out of high school, college, moving here, then it's like time flew by. So from being an intern all the way up to now, been 20 years, man, in one place. And that's crazy. You talking about some job stability right there.
Job stability and hustle. I brought up the 2 years thing of working free. At what point, did you ever waver and man, this shit's never going to happen? 'Cause in today's world, bro, what I want to get across, just you telling that story shows hustle, boom, Q, hustler's ambition, 50 Cent.
Yeah.
Hustle, but you literally did everything it took, and you mentioned even, I think it was DJ Premier said, you keep hustling, man, you're gonna get there, you're gonna get there.
Yeah. And
to finally sit into that seat and be there, did you ever feel like, damn, I'm sitting in my car, I'm never gonna make it?
Nah, I'm a big spiritual guy, and I think, and I'm also patient, and because I was mentored, my mentor that brought me into radio, Lester Pace, he really taught me about patience, and nothing comes on our timetable.
Yeah.
I'm saying? On the man above can determine that, but you got to just make sure you work hard. And and some days you're going to get disappointments. It was sometimes I thought, I'm about to get on, and they would hire somebody else when I've been doing the work. And I never let it be like, man, that's effed up, man. I've been doing this and I'm in here. You're going to let this person come in and you're going to hire this person. I never did that. I just like, okay, this is not my time right now. But when you have a passion about something, it ain't always about the money. This was a legendary radio station that I like. 97.9 was the Hot 97 of the South, so respected across the world. So for me just to be in the building, I was like, I just wanted to be in there, just picking up game. But I had family members and people around me that were real negative, like, you so dumb. Why are you still doing that? They're never gonna hire you. Man, you're still wasting time. You could be doing something else, making even more money. You sitting there working a part-time job over here and then going up there working long hours for free, and they haven't tried to do anything. And I just, I never let it get to. I said, this is what I want to do, and if it never nothing comes out of it, I can say that I was in the building. And I did something with these great people. And I'm glad I didn't listen to them because, like I said, I eventually, got in and got hired. And so, my family members and friends at the time that the friends we're no longer friends. Them I realized they were my real friends. You know what I'm saying? Family gonna be family. You know what I'm saying? I can say my mom never did that. My mom was just worried. She's like, baby, how you doing? Because this time I was just eating peanut butter sandwiches and bologna sandwiches. When I finally got my apartment, I was just living hardly no furniture. She's like, baby, you sure this, this what? Yeah, mama, just trust me, mama. She said, okay, I got you. She said, I'm with you. And, you know what I'm saying? That's all I needed. All I needed was my mama behind me. And now, bam, I'm good. So, yeah.
I didn't even know that shit, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's like when I tell nobody, like when people like sometimes just, hey man, how did you get into this? It's like, they be like, whoa. And then some people, I've done certain interviews with people and they never knew that I wasn't from Houston. Like I'm from I'm from a country town. I'm a country boy. You know what I'm saying? So, and moving here, it's like, yeah, but my hustle, every year I hustled and, being a DJ, I'm coming into a city with a lot of great DJs. Man, I got to hustle to be a part of it. And in 1 year, I flipped it around till I became one of the major DJs in the city within a year and a half. And started, but that's before I even got hired on the radio. And so I'm DJing like parties. And, I always say like the class of people that I came up with at the time I was coming into the game. You had High C out there doing this thing, Raj doing this thing. And, I was like, I got to be a part of that. And so.
Who was the best at that time? Best DJ when you were in search of that? Who was like the guy or the
when I was moving here to Houston, the top guys that I thought were superheroes as far as the DJ world, club world, it was GT, it was Steve Nice, Def Jam Blaster, and DJ Aggravated. And now all them guys are my friends. It's like those are the guys I listen to because I would hear them mixing on the box and Magic 102 before they merged. And I'm like, oh my God, man, they're doing party. They're on 106. I'm not 106. Rap City, The Basement. They're over here on television. I'm like, man, these guys are. So that's locally, like not locally, but those were the people I could get close to at some point, just being at a party and watch them. At the time, I didn't have the opportunity at that time, other than television, to see the Kid Capri's and the Jazzy Jeffs that were also inspirational to me as well. So, and these guys, all of them, also Walter D, who was really killing it in the game. They all gave me advice, you know what I'm saying? They embraced me when they saw that, okay, this dude is not coming in trying to cause no chaos. And because it's territorial, you know what I'm saying? They was like, okay, he cool, he humble. And that's why I tell people, you come people with who you are and not with an ego, people will embrace you. So they embraced me and I would ask questions and I would follow them around. I watch, okay, this, like GT, for instance. GT was one of the DJs that was DJing across the country. He was DJing Super Bowls across the country. And when I say Super Bowl, the after parties,
okay.
The All-Stars, the Essence Festival. I said, I want to do that. So I would just follow him around and I would watch how he moved. And it was crazy. A Super Bowl that was in Miami, I want to say it was around 2008 or 9. And he didn't know we ended up DJing a Jamie Foxx party and I'm gonna say, no pun intended, a Diddy party. in Miami. And we were hired to do these because those we did a lot of parties, but those were some of the big parties of that weekend. The Diddy party, Jamie Foxx party, and we're riding to the event. He's like, damn. He said, you was watching How's Move. I said, yeah. He said, look at that. And so, I'm a student, man. I'm going to watch you. If I want to do what you're doing, I'm not going to try to compete with you, but I'm going to create my own lane, but I'm going to learn what you're doing to get where you at and do my own version of it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Love it. And it's to help you out, too. I'm educated somewhat in the DJ world. Is this still a thing, this heavy hitters thing? Was that something that was important to you or creating, or is the heavy hitters a thing still?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So what is the heavy hitters?
The Heavy Hitters is a legendary DJ crew. They've been around since the late 90s. It was created by DJ Enough, who was also Biggie Smalls' DJ, Notorious B.I.G., works at Hot 97 to this day in New York. And the Heavy Hitters were a group of DJs that were part of this group, and it wasn't a lot of them, but any dude that was the dude in their market, they were a part of the heavy hitters. You know what I'm saying? You got like I'm talking about major dudes. And when I saw that, the only dude in Texas at the time that was a heavy hitter was DJ Aggravated, and then also Bebe, who's in Dallas. He's originally from Shreveport. The guy, actually, Hurricane Chris made the song about him. Hey, Bebe.
Okay.
Yeah. So Baby, real pop. So I was like, man, I asked Aggravated, how you getting the heavy? He said, hey, man, they gotta pick you. I'm like, oh shoot, okay. So what I did, a couple of heavy hitters that I met throughout my DJ career told me, they really gotta know that you are one of us. And what they meant was everybody can be great DJs, can be this. Where's your ego level? Where's your humbleness? How do you get along with people? Are you cool? Are you a negative person? So I took it upon myself to go to New York on my own dime, and I met DJ Enough through a record rep that worked for Jive RCA named Puerto Rico Rob. He introduced me to Enough, and I didn't say nothing about me wanting to be. I said, hey man, I'm JQ from Houston. Da, 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 da. He said, man, I've heard your name before. Blah blah blah. And then there was another guy, DJ Camelo, that's part of the heavy hitters. He was vice president, and so I met him at a party in Jersey. Boom! All I did was introduce, hey, I'm JQ. Oop, and we cool and all this good
producer,
stuff.
what's going on with that mic, man?
My pimp hands moving too much, and so I just started meeting key dudes of the heavy hitters. So one time, one of the members of the heavy hitters was DJ Infamous. He's Ludacris DJ, lives in Atlanta. He came down for in a radio station event that we had Ludacris performing at. So he came to the radio station. He also produces music. He's produced one of the popular songs, Future Itchin' was a big song. That's one of his songs right there. He was trying to work his record, so he came down a day ahead of time. We chopped it up, kicked it, real cool. So about 4 months later, he told me he was coming in town for another event with Ludacris. And I said, hey, man, you need me to pick you up? You good? He said, man, you gonna pick me up? I said, yeah, I'll pick you up from the airport. I went and picked him up, and we rolling, and we just really like vibing. He's like, yo, you ever thought about being a heavy hitter? I said, man, I've always wanted to be in it, man. He said, you fit the vibe. He said, your credentials as a DJ and your brand is big, but you're humble, you're cool. This is what we do. It's not really about a DJ crew. This is a family. And I'm like, oh. He said, man, next time, and with the heavy hitters, every year they do a retreat every year. It could be in the States. It could be Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic. They always put names on the list and they vote. And so he brought up my name the following year in Atlanta. Like, hey, this guy JQ. Aggravated didn't get a chance to go. They made a call to him to ask him about me. And then Bebe was there, and they was like, hey, this guy JQ. They got to vote. It was some people that voted yeah, and there was some that said no, it got to be unanimous. Okay. And Bebe stood up because Bebe knows me. He said, hey, man, let me tell y'all something. This guy's like me because Bebe's animated. You think I'm animated? He's on 10. He's like, this guy's like me. He's cool. He's humble. He's about family. He's not about negativity. This will be a great addition. He said his credentials as a DJ, his brand, he's one of the biggest brands in Houston. He said, I'm talking about the whole 360, radio, DJ, community. People can walk anywhere around this world and people know who he is. But damn that, he's a good person. And because he's highly respected, everybody that was said no, yes. And Enough called me and said, man, you want to be a heavy hitter? Yep. And it took off. And it's really about family, man. It's like, you meet guys, especially being a DJ, you can't come like, I could go into a heavy hitters market and say, hey, man, I'm going to be in your city. And I just could be coming to kick it. They'd be like, you want to work? You want to DJ? You want me to put you on? You need me to pick you up? You want to go get something to eat? Dudes don't do that. Yeah. Because people are territorial. And a lot of times I'll be like, nah, I ain't coming to work. I'm coming to kick it. But for them to offer that, and a couple of times I did, yeah, let me go on. If it was a market I've never been in, shout out to my brother Efizi. He put me on for Miami. Like, I came down there. He let me spin at some of his spots, man. Got some cash in my pockets. Been other DJs have done the same thing. But just really about family, man, everything. Yeah,
what I love the most about that and why I asked about the heavy hitters and everything, because here you are in Texas A&M, and you're just learning this stuff, right? And you talked about working for free. You talked about, you know, just being at the right place to learn from something, all
Yeah.
these things. What
Yeah.
I want to get across is here you are in this special club now, and you have the admiration and respect from people you looked up to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is a great feeling because I kind of know that feeling too. And you're doing it. You're
Yeah.
doing the thing. And
Yeah.
what I loved is you talked about, you said community, DJ, and what was the other one? The radio? Is that what the radio was the third one?
Yep.
Like, how cool is that? The sacrifices you made has led you to all these beautiful things and to be a part of a club that is considered the best in what they do. And it all comes from work ethic and belief. Because always everything I preach about is like,
Yeah.
even the faith thing you talked about, like when you know you have faith, the true definition of faith
Yeah.
is when you're sleeping in that car,
Yeah.
you ain't got no money,
Yeah.
and you don't know what tomorrow's gonna bring you, but
Yeah.
you know that on the other side of it, God's telling me, or whatever your belief is,
Yeah.
that I'm supposed to be doing this.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm in a trying time right now, but the other side of it, I'm going all in on it. And
Yeah.
I don't know if it's people's faith or people's just resilience, but so many people quit right there.
Oh man, they give up if they don't. And right now, where we are at now in the present time, if something don't kick off in 2 months, they give up on it and they want to switch to something else because there's no patience. You know, you got to go. I like to read. I like to do research. Man, when you see stories about some of the great, just people that are millionaires or just successful, and you look at the backstory. Always remember, look at the backstory. Let's take Tyler Perry. I slept in my car for 2 weeks. That was hard. This man slept in his car. He was homeless for years when he was trying to do his plays. And people was against him. And his mom even telling him, maybe you need to do something else. You're doing these plays and it's not kicking off. And the one day he was about to give up, he looked out the window and in one of his Medea plays, he had a line around the building. But almost, I want to say, it was between 2 and 4 years this man was homeless in his car. Same thing with Steve Harvey. Similar story. Homeless. Living in your car. Not having no place to... Man, I don't know if I would be built to be homeless in my car for a year. That 2 weeks kicked my ass. So to see that, it just teaches you... Because we look at... Oh, he's a millionaire. But you don't know what they had to go through to get there. You don't know about the sacrifice. Everybody had to sacrifice. To this day, every artist, every entertainer, even yourself, and what you're doing, you had to sacrifice. We all had to sacrifice something. You know what I'm saying? Depending on what level, it's always levels to the sacrifice, but we all got to sacrifice to live our dreams. Because if you don't, what's the excitement in it?
Yeah.
You know?
And I hope, I don't know how to say this because I think I'm just going to say it. And you can agree or disagree with me.
Okay.
And this is great for your industry too, and the story you're talking about. Motherfuckers are soft, bro.
Talk that shit.
Okay, they're soft. So it's 2025, and you mentioned Steve Harvey, Tyler Perry. You know, your story too is inspiring. It's sacrifice, it's commitment, it's grit, it's grind. Nobody wants to do that anymore.
Nope.
Everybody wants this. And it's so fucking frustrating. So I hope people hear that story with your following. And if, with 2025 and AI, and you can talk more about it, what do you recommend for people that want to be in your industry to do, but it's hard to recommend things when motherfuckers don't want to do the work? Looking to turn the backyard into the hangout spot for the summer? Regal Pools is Houston's premier award-winning residential pool builder. Congo tough, I like to say. From luxury design to flawless construction. If you can dream it, Regal Pools can build it. Book a consultation today.
Man,
To get where you got. You know what I mean?
You got a lot of ways, man. Right now we're in a place that it's a lot of tools out there for you to. I always tell people, you don't know how, if you can't make money now in this generation, then you don't know what the hell you're doing. You have so many tools out there with social media, everything with that. I mean, we see millionaires. Just look what Kai Cenat has done now.
Oh my God.
Oh man, and to see where another good story, this on the younger end, to see where he started and what he sacrificed. They only look at where he's at now. So I'm like, oh man, I had a different level of respect for him. And just
real quick, so for even my education purposes,
yeah,
because I don't know his damn story. Just quick synopsis on him. He's a streamer that's
Streamer,
okay.
yeah, streamer.
Like I know who he is. I just don't know his
family went through. I'm not sure how long it was, but it was a part where they were homeless, his family and everything, and he started off in a small room and just started doing streams, and then some years and years just building up to where he's a mega icon that has it done. But you look at him right now and say, man, I've seen people say, man, look at who is this dude that's on these covers and da. So when I saw the story, I'm always going to salute you. Anything you do and you great, you can make money from it. Even if I don't understand it, I'm going to salute you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then when I saw the backstory, it just made me have a higher level of respect, because he just the story that I just told with Steve Harvey, he went through the same thing, not having nothing, and creating a platform for him to feed his family and to take care of his friends. He has his whole team on where they can make money, and I think that's very good. There's other streamers out there, of course, that's doing big things at that thing. But with social media, you can create, so much stuff and make money. Even if that's not your thing, it's ways you can do it, man. I always tell people, you can't chase fame. You got to let it. You can't chase fame. You can't chase relationships. You have to just be you and let it naturally come to you. I've never chased it. That's one thing. I've never chased to be a friend of anybody, to be associated of anybody. I just be JQ, and if you like who JQ is and you want JQ to be part of your brand or part of your circle, then it becomes natural. And all my relationships have been built on natural. I never chased. I never force fed it. It just came. Yeah. Like I can walk, and I'm a very humble person. Like people tell me all the time, man, you need to let your balls swing sometime. Like, do you realize how big you are? And I said, man, I'm just a hardworking dude trying to make it and feed my family. But I can be, and that's the difference of me being a radio personality, a DJ, that puts me in a different category than a lot of other people. My brand that I built, I can go anywhere in the United States and walk, and I guarantee you somebody's going to spot me that knows me. And this is not no hype talk. This has actually happened. Everywhere I go, I'm thinking I'm on vacation somewhere and I'm in Mexico. And I'm thinking I'm just going to be chilling and then, Pimpin', what's up? What you doing out here? Like, what the hell? Man, I live in Phoenix, Arizona, man. I'm listening to y'all on the app. I'm like, wow. And you know what I do? Hey, man, how you doing? How you doing? This is my family. How y'all doing? Boom, 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 boom. And I make them connections. Those are connections, and I'm always nice. I always tell people, you'll be amazed what a hello and a smile will do. Mm-hmm. To this day, if I walk through the Galleria Mall, I can be walking. You ever notice when you can walk past somebody, if I walk past you and I didn't know you, some people can walk in and they just turn their head. Mm-hmm. If we lock eyes, how you doing today, brother? And you might say, hey, man, I'm good. Walk off. It ain't about who I am. This guy just smiled at me and said hello. Because that person could be having a bad day, and that smile and hello could have changed their day. And that's how I operate. And
to give you your flowers, JQ, it's funny you said that. In all the years I've known him, and he talked about depression and some stuff that I don't even know what went on in his life. This guy, I've never seen him in a bad mood. Yeah. I've never seen you on a bad day. I've never seen you, if you were in a bad mood, act different during a workout. Yeah. You were always, the person you're seeing on the camera is always who you've been. Yeah. So like to give you your flowers, like just reciprocating what you just talked about, you truly live it. Because I've never seen it, man. I've never seen it.
I try not to show it, and that's the deeper thing. When I talk to people, and I've done it when I've seen you sometimes. I know you recall. I don't know if you recall. Sometimes I'd be like, man, Doso, how you doing, my brother? Good. You good? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You good? That's like that code. Oh, yeah, okay, you saying you good, but are you good? It's about going deeper, and I think you got to ask that because we all go through stuff. Like I said, I done went through depression. I still go through it. Stress. I've learned now the tools to keep it from taking me down. We all gonna have days. You know what I'm saying? I'm a person. I admitted on the radio 10 years ago, one of my deepest, darkest secrets that I tried to commit suicide one time, and that opened up doors, this guy who smiles and is so happy tried to end his life. And when you have people that come to you and be like, man, when you confess that I was thinking about ending my life today, and I said, if this guy who's happy all the time can overcome that, I need to get help. I need to talk to somebody. I can be better. From grown men to grown women to even parents coming to me and say, what you said on the radio today, and the year to this day, it helped me talk to my kids, because my kid was getting bullied. My kid wanted to do something to himself. We was in the car, and they heard this. Can you talk to my child? Sure. Hey, what's up, brother? What's up, young ma'am? Hey, I say, no, don't ever try to do that to yourself. You know, life is, and I can't, I can't be around for everybody, but that was a thing that opened up with actually crazy thing Hal always talks about. He said, this was when you became humanized to the whole world for admitting that. And some people are still finding out that didn't hear it that day or see it on social media, because, it went rampant. People is talking about it. Somebody will bring it up and then they'll be like, oh my God, I didn't know that. Like, wow. And it made them look at their own selves, because we all go through stuff, man. That's why I'm big part of, I'm big on mental health. Big on mental health. And at that time when I was going through this was when I was still in Bryan College Station, I didn't have those tools. You know what I'm saying? Now I talk to people. Like, for instance, and this is why I say you got to go around positivity. Positivity. And like I said, coming to see y'all. Yeah, the workout's good, but sometimes being around positivity can help you deal with a lot of bullshit you're going through. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we got to check on people and be like, hey, man, because we all go through stuff, and some is deeper than others. It's like, and I tell people to this day, I'm no exempt. Yeah, I don't show it. I can be having the worst effing day in the world. You'll never see it on my face. Never. But can it happen? Yes. And the people close around me will know it. My boy Rob G, he can tell. Oh, you ain't say that right. What's wrong with you? What? Nah, you smiling, but the smile is a little off. Oh man, nah, just yeah. It's gonna be all right, brother. Give me a prayer, boom, 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 boom. Maybe about it's been about 4 years ago. I lost my father. And I had to be strong for my parents. I mean, for my mom and my kids, because I said I didn't want to break down. So I didn't deal with the passing of my father the right way, because I was trying to be strong. I gave a speech at his funeral. So for a whole year, like I was, and then I felt like a piece. I was different. I felt like I was alienating my friends and the people that love me. I just kind of went into a shell outside of work. You see me DJing on stage, you would never know, but I was kind of like, I just kind of stopped just showing around, and I realized that I didn't deal with the pain and the hurt the right way. Yeah. Went to counseling, learned how to deal with that, because it's a lot of accomplishments that I made that I wanted my dad to see, Yeah. And, I wanted him to be here to see it. Getting a new house. Me and my wife having a child, when we get ready to have a child, I wanted him to see that. But, I had to realize that, he's upstairs and he's looking down at us and he's proud of me. Yeah. Didn't mean to get emotional.
No, man, that's what, hey, bro, I pimp. Well, first off, man, I want to apologize. I didn't even know. I didn't see that on social media.
It's like, it's a lot of people, man, that didn't know. And, because it's like, unless it comes up, if you missed it on the radio at the time, or somebody just didn't say it in the papers, people that miss it, and I never assumed. At that time, I thought everybody heard it, but I still run into people to this day that hear it. Like, even every year I do this, they do these, when it's Men's Mental Health Month, or just mental health awareness, they have me come film some vignettes. I think that's the word for it. I might be saying it damn wrong, right? When we doing video clips of my story. And I like a quick little thing of how I overcame, depression and trying to commit suicide and all this. And when the videos come out, then more people be like, wait a minute. I get in the comments, damn, I didn't know that. I got some friends, some newer friends in my life that didn't live here, that didn't know it. They saw, they like, damn, dog, I didn't know. Like, wow. And it put their minds in perspective to be like, man, Jay overcame this. I can overcome it. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah, and I think, dude, you should. Well, I first off want to apologize, but I'm giving your flowers. Like, I'm so happy you're on this podcast to tell that, because that's
Yeah.
great. That's what it's all about. It's all about telling the truth, and I
Yeah.
didn't even know that about you.
Yeah.
And I commend you for doing that. And I know you got touchy about your dad, but I've never met your father. But with everything you just told me, he'd be so proud, because
yeah.
not only did you have to go through so much shit to get where you're at,
Yeah.
but when that passing happened, how strong you were for that time, and then to go through what you had to go through with that, which you could have went.
Yeah, could have went left, man.
You could have went this way,
Could have went that way.
but you went this way, and because of that way you went, you're going to continue to impact more and more people.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, brother, you're so much stronger now
Yeah.
than you ever will be, because you know, we talk about fitness and training. We push ourselves to those limits to handle moments like that.
Yes.
And
yes.
I believe that. I believe
Yes.
if I can go 300 feet on this Versa all out and
Yeah.
give everything I got,
Yep.
when I get that phone call, when I want to go
Yeah.
this way in life rather
Yeah.
than this way in life,
Yeah.
no, I can do it. I can push through it. I can push through it. So
and that's a big part where people, I also tell them that, you know, with just mental health and just feeling good, it's not just about the mind, it's about the body too. And
Yeah.
that's why I'm always telling people to take care of their bodies. You know, do a little bit of exercise, whatever your level is. If it's just walking every day, do it, because that balances a lot of stuff. Like if you're not doing that, with your strength level, if you're not super strong mentally, and your body's weakened, that can like put it on 10. You'd be like,
Yeah.
because I can go exercise and be like just ready to strangle somebody, and I can exercise and I'd be like, man, I'm cool as a bear in the pool right now. You know? Man, that ain't nothing I'm worried about. You know, man, that's cool. You know, you don't worry about it. So, you know, that's a big part of, you know, I always tell people fitness and mental. Those just keep everything just in the works where you need to be, to keep a lot of the bullshit that we deal with on a day-to-day basis.
do you have any recommendations for people to go research things or anything, or is there a certain site to go to get help with stuff?
You know, they have
what's
a lot
your
of
recommendation
they have
for
a
people?
lot learning what I've learned. First of all, if you work for a job, if you work for a company, they all have a program where you can get through your insurance where they offer free counseling. That's the first thing. If you don't like have a 9 to 5 or work for a corporate company and thing to yourself, it's a lot of free services out there. If Google tell you everything, you be like, counseling. I need mental health counseling, suicide prevention. There's numbers that you can call just to talk to somebody that people will talk to. It's no money involved and everything. And I always tell people with counseling, you have to find a person that you relate to. You might have to go through 3 or 4 counselors. You know what I'm saying, to find the right one. Because we can sit here, if you don't understand me and I don't understand you, and you're talking to me, it's like what they say, how people used to go to church and they say you can go to church just to go to church, but are you receiving the word?
Yeah.
Only way you gonna receive the word is the preacher. Some preachers are old school, then you got the newer, hipper ones. Whatever it is that can get to you, that's how you got to do with counseling. So, you know, like right now, I just started back counseling in January. I hadn't done it for like a year. And, you know, just go back and just, you know, and that person helped me deal with like my dad, you know, be better in my marriage, you know, stuff like that, and just deal with like stress, family issues and all this stuff. But I had to go to 2 or 3 people. And then I found a woman that just able, because I needed a woman, especially being a married guy. And I felt like a dude may, not to take nothing about it, they might, you know what I'm saying? A woman can tell me, yeah, you messing up. You did that wrong. This boom, 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 boom. As you know, she's been great. So, you know, I've tried, most of the counselors I've picked throughout my life have been really, really good. But some I had to say, you're good, but this particular thing, I don't think we're going to pop with it, and they're cool with that. You
Yeah.
have to search around, man. But it's a lot of tools, man, online to give you everything. Whether if you're paying for it or you can't pay for it, it's people out there that will help you.
And I think it was on the. You ever watched heard the Pivot podcast?
Yes,
I
yes.
think they talked about that even themselves. They were talking about like check on the strong ones, and you never knew that they were going through something. And one of the guys broke down, and it's like the same thing you said about you good.
Yeah.
It was the same thing they talked about. So you just like check on the strong ones, man. You never know what's going on. I just want to say I love you, man. Like I didn't know that was going on,
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah.
it proves your purpose in this life to have more and more of an impact in what
Yeah.
you're doing because now you have purpose behind you on top of purpose.
Oh, yeah.
And that whole point was just before we got into that great stuff. My whole question was, in this soft world,
Yeah.
and people wanting to be in your industry, you basically just gotta hustle, man.
You gotta hustle. Hustling, man. Hustle is the thing. Anything you do, you gotta have hustle. If you don't have hustle, you gonna have a hard time. You gotta have a hard time. You gotta be a hustler. In this world, you gotta do 2 and 3 things to get your goal. What if it's financially, or if it's to set a goal to get something, to make investments. You got to be good with your money. Not spending. What the pandemic taught us, man, real quick. Hey, man. Hey, we might not be able to work for some time. So it's like, hey, let me invest. Let me put money back. Let me save money. Let me not just be blowing money. Hey, you got to keep everything right and tight. You know what I'm saying?
And when we were talking about that, this came up on Deion Sanders' page. Did you ever meet Wallow? Have you ever met Wallow?
Yes, I met
Really?
Wallow before. Yes.
How is he?
Man, great dude, man. And another guy that has a great story as well. But when he comes, positive energy.
If you're ever, I know how the world works, but if he's ever in Houston again, I'd love to meet him. Just chop it up with him.
Yes, yeah.
He popped up on my feed, and ever since I've seen his story and what he's done. It's fucking phenomenal. And he's preaching the real talk. He's not doing it for likes, for money, or any of that.
Yeah.
So we were talking about work ethic and, coming up in this thing. And Deion posted, I don't know if you've seen this. He was just at Deion's camp talking about it.
Everybody want to be great, but they want to half step. Everybody say they want to be the next level. Everybody say they're going to be the next. I'm going to be the next Heisman. I'm going to be the next Super Bowl champ. When you going to start acting like it? That start right now. It starts right now. Because it ain't about motivation. It's about discipline. What is you willing to do every day and don't see no reward? Think about that. What is you willing to do every day and say, you know what? I'm blind. I'm just blind grinding. You got a blind grind. And it's going to pop up when you least expect it. See, God going to test you, then he going to bless you. You're going to go through some hardship. Some of y'all going to get some rough phone calls. Sometimes the play might don't go right. Some things might just don't go right. But God going to test you and bless you. He going to see if you really got faith. He going to see if you're really ready for the next level. He going to see if you're ready for the biggest lights of your life. So you got to stay on point. You got to stay focused.
Good, bro, you're living it.
Right there. Right there.
You're living it,
you
man.
got to live it. And I'm going to add something else in there. Don't never let nobody tell you no. Even if they tell you no, keep on going. That same person eventually tell you yes. I've had 8 no's, and on the 9th time I got a yes. Now I could have, after the first no, turned around and went another direction. If that door right there is a door I need to go through to complete one of my goals, I got a lot of doors, a lot of different goals, but this is one of them. I'm gonna get through that door.
Fuck yeah, bro.
I'm getting through that door, and
No
I'm
matter
gonna be
what.
patient. I'm gonna keep on coming, because sometimes consistency is the key.
Man, drop it.
No!
We got to take some sauce.
Oh!
We got to take some sauce.
We got to put the sauce
We're
on
only,
that thing.
only doing that. We check your phone too. I know you're probably blowing up.
Oh no, you know
don't-
what I'm saying? I had to put that memo down to make sure I looked at that. I want that video, man. That video was deep right there.
I'll send you. We'll get you that. I got you that.
Oh yeah. Send that to me, man. That's Wallow said so much good stuff that I hadn't seen that one. That was like inspiring right there.
Yeah, and also I know Wallow's been into working out, right? He's
Oh,
been
yeah.
into fitness.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Hey, we got to get him some Congo subs.
Oh yeah, we got to get it,
We
man.
got to get him some Congo
Next
subs.
time he get in town, I'm definitely gonna pull up. Say, hey man,
Yeah.
we got to talk that talk.
Thank you, man. I love you, man. I'm happy.
Love
you're
you too,
here.
brother. Yeah.
That post is literally what you've been living
Yeah,
through. So keep
yeah.
inspiring. I got that warrior ready.
Oh, that warrior ready. Hydrate so you can simulate.
It's literally amazing.
Yes.
It's amazing.
Yes.
And also, we don't really do free shout outs, but you mentioned Kai Cenat. That's how you say his last name?
Kai Cenat, yeah.
I only asked you the backdrop of his story because I didn't know him, but he, just like Jake Paul to me,
Yeah.
he's got my fucking respect because I've known what he's been through.
Yeah.
And say what the fuck you want about him, say what you want. But here he is doing what he's doing. He's getting all these celebrities on his, what's stream?
Yeah,
What it is? And then the funniest thing is he recently, a couple things. He recently met LeBron. Did you see that? The
Yeah,
whole LeBron thing?
yeah.
And how cool and played out and playing. It's just
Yeah.
like, he even got more joy getting his boys to meet Braun than he did. And when I saw that, I was like, that dude is a solid dude, and I don't even know him yet. Like, his boys got to meet Braun, and he was, like, freaking out for them. I got
Yeah.
you, bro. It's what we do.
Yeah.
And, like, I know that feeling, too, because I know we talk about it all the time. But I met LeBron, and I felt like Kai.
Yeah.
It's motherfucking LeBron James.
Yeah.
But it was cool to see that. What I'm bringing it up is we train Erwin, and Erwin is a realtor. Aaron right here, Mr. Real Estate.
Yes, that's my guy right there.
Oh, you know Erwin?
Yeah, yes.
No shit.
We was just at the Big 3 game yesterday. With
How do
him.
you know Erwin?
Man, through Lisa Rogers.
Okay, good
Lisa
deal.
Rogers, and he's actually a positive person that's come into some mutual friends of mine. He's friends with them, so he's in the circle. But with man, Erwin, another positive dude, man. It's not a bad bone in his body. He always has good energy, looks
Hell yeah.
out. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, he's another good dude.
A small world. See, look at that circle of people. I always say it's
The
not just
circle.
it's not just a gym, man. Like
Yeah.
we have such a great
Yeah.
community. I brought him up because didn't he? I think he just sold or he's renting the house.
Renting
Or
to Kai Cenat and it's in San Antonio, Tony
Okay.
Parker's crib. Yeah.
This is the ultimate free promo, Aaron. So Kai Cenat has rented this Tony Parker crazy ass mansion.
Man, with like a swim park in it too, and all this stuff.
Dude, everything you could ever imagine to want, arcade, swim park, and especially in Kai's world, like that is the perfect thing. And correct me if I'm wrong, Erwin is the one that
Yes.
leased it to Kai.
Yep.
So big shout out to Erwin, dog. I'm not
Yes.
saying it because you recently started coming to Congo. Some
Yeah.
great shit's happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
But no, but that's a big shout out, man. And you brought that up. And shout out to Kai. I don't know you, but hey, I'm sitting around this podcast. I got it started with a GoPro. Started out with 0
Yeah.
followers, and we're building up just like you, man. Trying to do great things. And I
Yeah.
got to meet LeBron.
Yes, yes, yes.
Real quick before we close this out, as we're talking about hustle, 2 things about hustle. DJ, I keep calling him DJ JQ. Tell the world what your schedule was like when I was trying to train in you. Like you were sleeping in the parking lot sometimes, just trying to quick napping. Because
Yeah.
people don't understand is he work a full day depending on what his shift is, get a workout in, handle life, and DJ and party from fucking 12 to 4 in the morning
Yeah,
sometimes. So
yeah.
what was that like?
Man, it's like
What
crazy.
does that schedule
and the
look
time
like?
that I met you, I was training with you, that's when I was on the morning show. So that was, you had to be there at 4:30. It was 5 a.m. to 10. And I know I
This
would
is the
come to
morning?
see you in the morning.
Okay, so
And
4:30.
So I would come to try to see you. I would know I would leave, I think it was around 11 o'clock. And let's just say we said we're going to work out at 11. We get off the air at 10. I might get to your gym at 10:15. I'd take a nap in the car for an hour before the 11 o'clock session
Okay.
and get it in. Go back to work. Because after I do the radio show, I got to do my assistant program director duties. Then I would leave, have a couple of hours, and then I would go do a club where I might not get off till 2:30 in the morning. And a lot of times, if I didn't want to drive back home, I would just go back to the station, sleep in the car, and get up in the morning. Now, I work a little bit smarter. Now I'm not on the morning show. I'm on the afternoon show. But my day, I try to be up. Same philosophy, but reverse. I try to be up by 5:30, pull myself together, try to go work out between 7:30 to start it, and be at the radio station by 9:30. Work all the way until 2 o'clock. My show's 2 to 7. Get off at 7. I might stay in my office, do some work, get home at 9, be the family man. And I try to make sure that my clubs are more on the close to the weekend. So, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday are usually my free nights. And then Thursday, I stay at work. I don't go home. I stay at work till it's time to go to my club, work ahead, go do my clubs, come home 2 o'clock in the morning, go to sleep, wake up, and then repeat the day, and then make sure. But I'm also big on making sure I'm getting my family time in. Making sure take care of the wifey. Make sure we have a date night once a week that's in-house. Taco Tuesday's big at our crib. That Taco Tuesday, unless something happens and I can't do it, we're going to do it on Wednesday. It's going to be Taco Wednesday. You know what I'm saying? But that's like something you got to do in addition to, one day out the week, every 2 weeks we go out to eat and stuff. You got to get that in.
I hope your followers, we chop this up and they listen to it. You're giving them so much game.
Yeah.
You're going to bring a different demographic, but it still applies to what I stand for and about telling the truth about hustle and working hard and going after things. And now you're talking about, your wife and balance, but you're still working hard.
You're working hard, yeah,
so
man.
Kai, JQ, these guys that are in this world, the moral of the story is nothing was overnight success.
Nothing.
And you have to work your ass off to get where you got to. And then the other thing about Hustler is, there's a guy you may know.
Oh, yeah. The Hustle and Vision.
When you hear the song, you just know.
I need you to hate.
I need you to hate. Real shit. Here's the hustler. You live in the hustler mentality, man.
And we gotta
you live in the hustler mentality. What is it to close this out, man? You have a pretty good relationship with 50 Cent, yeah?
Yeah.
And I
That's my
bring that
brother
up
right
because, in the world of radio, you have to always see everybody, right? You're going to see because everybody's promoting this and that. But I feel like with 50, you have a real genuine relationship.
Yeah, it's
How
genuine.
did that come about? And I got a couple funny stories too to add to because I knew you about 50. But how did that come about and how's that?
Man, just like what I said earlier about never trying to press a relationship. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen naturally. That came from years from when he first started, me being around, meeting him, whether it was through radio or me being at an event out of town, meeting him. One of the guys that works for his label, me and him have always been cool and everything. Renee, shout out to Renee. And through that, Renee knew the type of guy. So, meeting Fifth, Fifth is a guy that he's a good reader. If you know anything about Fifth, he's not going to have anybody around him that he thinks that's not loyal, can be trustworthy, or not a good person because he's been through what he's been through. I've just always been JQ around him. Hey, man, what's up? Boom, 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 boom. So when it got around the time that he started getting into the liquor industry, he had a vodka out at one time, and he had a program where he had like some of the top DJs around the country that were part of it. He handpicked them. I was fortunate enough to be one of those guys representing Houston. It started off as business, and it ended up we became brothers. I make him laugh. I believe he sees the type of person that I am. He knows that I'm loyal. I never try to be, when he's around, I never try to be up under him. I like to give people their space. That's how I am, period. It's like, but to be the crazy thing, like I say, the guys in radio that I'm working with now, like 50 Cent was one of my favorite rappers out there. And to know that, like, I'm around this dude, not just on some business, but just as personal, like, and I never try to take advantage of that friendship, what I'm saying, and everything, it's like, because, relationships mean the most, and, I always pick up, he has a lot of knowledge, you always can look at online, other stuff he says online, man, he's really a good dude, and he's so smart, and if you ever get a chance to talk to him, like, he can sit, I've been places where we can sit down, and we can be eating somewhere, and somebody sit there and says something, and he'll talk to him for 30 minutes, with some business ideas or why he did this or why he did that. And so much knowledge that I've learned from him just on the hustling thing. It made me step up because here's a guy that rarely sleeps.
Sebastian Plumbing. If you need a plumber, Sebastian's our guy. Plumbing problems never come at a good time, but when it happens, call Sebastian. Whether it's a clogged drain, burst pipe, or water heater failure, Sebastian Plumbing is ready to tackle the job with a fast professional service. That just means don't shit down the hole and use too much goddamn toilet paper. Don't stress the mess. Just remember, when it happens, call Sebastian Plumbing at 346-556-6709 or online at sebastianplumbing.com.
movies, music, investments, touring, and still make sure he works out every day. And may not sleep but 2 or 3 hours, if that. And I'm like, damn, I stepped my game up. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, he's been a blessing in my life, and it's like, like I said, loyalty over everything, man. Because he's big on loyalty, and I'm loyal to him. Like I said, damn the business aspect of it. It ain't even about that. It's like, to be around this guy and just to see what he's done. He's been there for me in some dark times, especially through COVID. And so, like, I could never say anything. He hasn't done anything bad in my eyes. He does what he does, man, and he keeps it pimping.
Well, just getting back to your story, bro. Look at where you started on. Here you are talking about 50 Cent.
Yeah.
And your relationship,
Yeah.
you good, bro. You winning. You
Yeah.
winning.
Hey, man, at the same time, before we transfer in, I got to give you your flowers, man, because at the same time, man, where you started at, man, you're owning your own gym, and you're changing people's lives through fitness and positivity, and you're training a lot of A-list people too, man. So we can't forget that. You training NBA stars, NFL stars, comedians, actors. That's like, I'm watching what you're doing, brother. And yeah, I know you're humble like me about it and everything. So I just want to give you your flowers of what you're doing and what you've created. And because I know that was your dream and everything from day one. So, you're making the dream happen, and you got something good going on. So I got to salute you on that, my brother. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate it. And that's what it's about, bro. Like, you saw where I was at.
Yeah.
And I said everything I was going to do, I went and did it.
Yeah. Yep.
Everything you said you was going to do, you went and did it.
Then when it did
and
it, baby.
guess what? You're still hungry, right?
I'm still hungry.
And I'm still hungry too.
Man.
So it means a lot because, as I've climbed the ladder of the top, and I'm not at the top yet, even Kai posted a recent thing of Kai talking about it's hard to find people who generally, when you win and you do better than them, they're actually happy for you.
Yeah.
And, you're one of those guys that was always there. Like, you may not have always been at the gym, but you're such a good relationship person that if I ever need anything, I know you would have our back.
Oh, hell
and
yeah.
You went with us everywhere we went that you could.
Yeah.
And you still are with us.
Hey, you family. Hello, let's not forget. You was at my wedding. You and your brother. That's family right there. That's if we don't see each other for 3-4 months, that's family. That's near. We always gonna come back together, but that's family. You know what I'm saying? Because that's, once again, everybody can't be in the circle.
Yep, everybody can't be there. There's seasons and reasons. I'm just a kid from Wyoming, and here I was at his wedding, and we have total different backgrounds, total different careers, and I was sitting at his wedding. And ironically, you DJ'd Taj
in Vegas.
and Jen's wedding.
Great
so
time.
it's like that's just the evolution of life and people. And you think, I appreciate you, man. I really do. I am humble about it. And I got a lot of shit to do, but I appreciate that. I appreciate you following us. And I fucking told you I was going to bury these motherfuckers. And the biggest mistake they could have made was poking the bear, and they poked it, and I'm still fucking going. You think, 50 Cent had that vitamin water kick. Any chance we can get 50 some Congo subs?
Hey, we can make it happen. We got that.
Let's make it happen, man. Take him, check it out. Have him take it while he's working out.
Yeah.
And other interesting about 52 is when I met him at the Post Oak, it's how solid he is. I trained so many people.
He was training over there,
I trained so many people, and here he's at the Post Oak, and I found he doesn't really drink, right?
Nah.
So he doesn't sleep really. He doesn't really drink. And here he is working out at the Post Oak, and I got 10 people with me, and he's just doing his thing, and he's very cool, humble. He even remembered clients' names. He said hello, basically everything you're saying. Yep. But I brought out the 50 stuff because 50 is all about hustle and loyalty, everything you said. And that is what you fucking stand for. We got to get 50 some of the Congo stuff. I think, bro, he would love it. Yes. And we got some big visions for this. And just how I want to keep going, I think Congo and 50 Cent would be fucking some badass stuff. So let's get him some 50 Cent. Yes. And also, I was taking tequila sponsors. We got to get us some Branson here.
Yes, indeed.
We'll take some Branson. Yes. We'll shout him out. We'll do some stuff.
We'll get some Branson. How you dancing? Yes.
To close this out, man, this is how we're going to do it. So, we're all about wrestling, right?
Yes.
And we brought up the Branson. Why we got to do the Terramana? Who would be your wrestling impersonator? Who would you want to impersonate for kind of promo? You can still be the pimp too if you want to do a pimp promo. I think that's the best bet.
Fist, Best, let me see here. I would say probably Stone Cold secondary to Rock.
So you're gonna go Stone Cold on your promo right now?
Yeah.
Okay. I guess I gotta go The Rock.
Okay.
I wish I had my glasses. All right, ready? This is where we close that episode. What was this, Aaron? 40. Episode 40. Ready? Finally, Dose has come back to the podcast. This is what you're gonna do, jabroni. You're gonna take this Terramana Anejo tequila, and we're gonna shine it up real nice. We're gonna shine it up real nice. We're gonna turn that son bitch sideways. And for all you unlikers out there, you haters out there, you know what you can do with it? You can turn it sideways, point it this way, traject it that way, and shove it straight up your candy ass, because that's the bottom line. Because my buddy over here, Stone Cold, is about to tell you why. Tell him why, Stone Cold.
Well, I'm going to tell you what. We're going to sip this tequila. We're going to do what we do. We're going to whip ass the long way. We're going to kick ass. We're not going to see the ass in the ring, outside the ring. That's what we do. Because that's the bottom line, because the pimp says so.
And because the pimp said so and the jabroni said so, we got to connect it all together. Because all the Hulkamanias out there and the Congo Maniacs out there, brother, when I took Andre Johnson and 97.9 The Box and Congo Mania and I lifted him up and I put him on the table to take over the world, brother. And if you're not down with that, we got 2 words for you. Suck it! Like, subscribe, share. DJ JQ, Pimperelli. We out. Pow.